Hey guys, we're back again this week. We went over compounds and pads last week. Technically, I probably should have went over buffers first, but that was more of a central question what I had before. This is, like I said, all my opinion. This is what I love to use. People have their different things, but we'll generally go over what I use. To start out with, is what I use 90% of the time. The Rupes 21 millimeter, 21 Bigfoot. Um, I think it just came out with gear driven and stuff too. Different ones they have rotary also. It just depends on what you like to use. But 21 for a 21 millimeter throw oscillation. Love it, love it, love it. Your standard, like the Torx I have back here, I think I have between a 5 and 8 millimeter throw. Um, I used Torx for a long time. Wasn't getting the results I was happy with, taking too long. The cutting power wasn't there. My opinion. People might hate me for this, but oh well. People like them, great for you. If you like using them, do what works for you. I still keep it around. I use a DA clay pad from Stay Fresh for clay, and sometimes it's a little quicker, a little easier to do. Uh, but the 21 millimeter is awesome. Amazing cutting power, 6 to 7 inch pad. You can also change the backing plate and put a 5 on it if you want. I still keep it 6 and 7 inch. Your big panels, medium, and whatever you need to. Um, I don't have the washer mod, which if you'll hear the washer mod come up a lot of times. Basically, all it is a washer cut, and it spaces it off the skirt, frees it up a little bit more. Some people like that, some people don't. Um, Basic settings on this: 1 to 6. I never normally go past 4.5 towards 5. Never need it. That's how well this thing cuts, especially with microfiber cutting pad from Meguiar's. Always start on 1, spread it out, and slowly move into about 4.5 for your cutting. That's about far as I ever need to take it. There's been occasions, keep it on 5 for some bad paint, heavier cutting. But like I said, I probably will never go to another polisher, honestly. I know they'll come out with different concepts of them later on. Like I said, I know they just came out with gear driven, I think. We'll have to look into that later. I still keep a rotary around, a DeWalt. That I'll use it occasionally if I have some really, really hard paint and need to do some heavy, heavy, heavy cutting. But most of the time, like I said, I can use the extra cut disc from Meguiar's. But like I said, it's always good to have them around. You never know what you need. Also use the Mini Bigfoot 12. 3 inch, great, 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 great. B pillars, bumpers, some grills, whatever you need. Small spaces, bottom of doors when you don't need the 6 and 7 inch size mirror, or you don't have the room, or there's a body line or something in the way, or an arch inside the fender well. It just depends on what you're using. 12 millimeter throw, like I said, my go-to on them. Also, I have Meguiar's cutting disc for those. Like I said, the Rupes yellow and all them for them. Then we go into the Nano Hybrid. An amazing little tool. Battery powered. It comes with its own carrying case, 2 batteries. It actually has a plug-in to plug into the wall. If you run out of batteries or anything like that, green, red light. There is a long neck version of this also. I went with the short neck for most of the stuff I do is good. Long neck's about here. It comes with 3 different oscillations, large, medium, and will give you a rotary also. I got from 1 inch to 3 inch for the pads, little guys, and also it will come with a sticky pad for sandpaper. It'll give you samples of those, so if you've got a wet sand in some tight areas, or underneath bonnets or anything like that, trunk lids, anything, just depending on what you're doing around spoilers. But like I said, I use this a lot of times for the B pillars too, for small ones, inside the front bumpers. It is an amazing tool. I'm glad they came out with this. I did use a Griot 3 inch for a while with a smaller pad on it, but wasn't getting the results I needed. It took too long, everything else. But I absolutely love this little guy. I can do what the big ones do. Like I said, large oscillation, medium oscillation, and the rotary. Also, when you order it, it comes in its own carrying case. It does have tools for brushes for interiors if you want to clean like leather seats or dashes or get around radio consoles, anything like that. So I mean, it's a multi-purpose. It can do a lot of things. Like I said, Torx is back here. But like I said, Bigfoot 21 millimeter, amazing, amazing, amazing. It's worth every penny. Like I said, some people like their flex and stuff like that. Like I said, the rotary. I mean, rotary still old school. It's still a really good cutting tool. But for the fit and finish and everything that I like doing, the Bigfoot, the Rupes comes right there. They're perfect for what I do. Well, like I said, it's just general. Whatever makes you work, whatever gets you what you need, your results. This is what I like using. Like I said, sometimes, the old way of just ripping, cutting with a wool pad and polishing it back out and you can be done real quick. It's not the way it goes sometimes anymore. Like I said, for the fit and finish that I like getting, like I said, sometimes it does take longer, but better finish. Great quality, less chance of burning the paint, anything like that, general gist. Then basically, I wanted to talk to y'all again. We went back into the pads from last week. I finally got into getting enough pads. Like I said, the Meguiar's cutting pad is my number one go-to. Y'all see it's what I talked about on the F-150. But basically, I want to talk about cycling the pads. The thing is, with a lot of people will fit and finish one panel at a time. I don't. I like to do a cutting process of going around. I'll do my test panel, find out what I need to use, and do a fit and finish on it. But I like to go around the vehicle and do one whole cut cycle to go through everything. Some people don't. Like I said, it just depends on what you want to do. But pad cycling and cleaning the pads. I have about 15 of these now because I just ordered some. I finally got a chance to order a bunch of them. But you have to watch pulling them off the backing plate and everything else. But majorly what we're talking about is cleaning the pad. I use these now since I've got so many for about 2 to 3 panels. Then I'll switch pads, cleaning them in between each cut. Basically, you can use the brush, turn it on about 1 or 2, and lightly go over it. It's not as effective as air though. I like taking just a blower gun, putting it on 1 or 2, and running it across it. That actually cleans much better. But what happens is the same thing with the Rupes pads. I'll show you in a minute. This is actually one of my older ones. It'll start the heat and everything through building up. Will start breaking down the pad. It will start damping. It will start squashing, however you want to call it. They'll start separating, breaking apart. This one's, like I said, an older one I had. You can see, but you got to watch pulling them off. They'll start ripping the backing off of them. These have a little bit more longevity, but you have to keep your pads clean. Like I said, I recommend. Like I said, this is by finding out by error and everything else. You'll notice if you keep using the same pad, you'll get through probably the 3rd or 4th panel, maybe the 4th if you even get there, and you'll notice your cutting will start coming off, which means it's not cutting as well as it did before, like when freshly cleaned, or a fresh pad itself. That keeps you more up cutting, like I said, and you're not forcing yourself to cut and cut and cut and cut. Fresh pad always cuts better. So I cycle these every 2 to 3 panels. Then I'll clean them after I'm done, which, like I said, I just got an opportunity to get enough of them. As you can see, I just got done using this one. You can see the buildup on it, which I would take air and just blow it out for another panel. But like I said, 2 to 3 panels max, then swap it to a new one. You'll love it a lot better. Like I said, the investment into the pads is worth it, which I'll speak in a minute. This is one of my old yellow Rupes. I kept it around to show, I don't know if y'all can see it, but the breaking up, this isn't from hitting anything. This is actually just over usage. As you can see, it's coming apart. Some of them, I call blossom, they'll smash and you'll see a ring around it. That means there's been enough heat that the pad, to me, is technically collapsed. And then they'll start breaking down on top, getting a little bit rougher, and you'll try to finish something and you'll start seeing it's not polishing as well, or you get some light marring from the pad being rough. Like I said, this is just what I've dealt with, and That's why you can try to cycle. People will cut a panel, then polish a panel, and that gives the pad time to cool off and everything else, not just a constant keep heat cycling. But this one, like I said, this one I just actually rolled the other day. It was one of my older ones. I only had a couple, so I was trying to heat cycle them and last them long enough. But now I have about 9 of these. So these I will actually use probably 1 to 2 panels, depending on size and paint. For residue control, which we'll get in later. But same thing, you can use the brush on these, just 1 or 2, and just lightly go over it. But air still works the best. So it just all depends on what you want to use. But heat cycling definitely is the main point. You don't want to start damaging, losing, or having your finish come off. Like I said, 1 to 2 panels, switch pads. Honestly, is the best thing I have found, because if not, you'll just start running through pads and wonder why you're falling off, or your pads are disintegrating, or you're not getting the fit and finish you need. Pretty much the same for all the pads. That's pretty much just a general of that. Just wanted to go over what I use. Just cycle the pads every 1 to 2 to 3 panels, depending on which one you're using. Some panels can go more, some pads, depending on what pads you're using. These are what I use, so that's the cycling process. So any more questions, comments, or anything, just let me know. Thanks, guys.